Hi friends, welcome to my channel, and today we are making one atom cards, and this is Nutty Over You, the Simon's kit. And it came with this stamp, some long-form platted papers, some of the cardstock, 3 cardstock by Simon's stamp, teal and orange and brown, the icon stickers. Now this is not the video that where I'm making and these 2 inks. So this is not the video where I'm making the exact 10 or 20 cards. I just want to use maximum utilization of this kit, and we will use all these supplies one by one. Maybe I make 1 or 2 card in one video, but I'm making this series with all this stamp, and I will add these in my fall card series. So now let's start. You will get this to get some kind of inspiration, but we are not making them, we'll make something else. And now what I did, I went ahead and I used this archival ink. I used this first time and it is really nice and bright color, so I used my Misty to stamp these squirrels many times, so it gave me the nice crisp impression. And now I want to talk about the cardstock here. I will use my card base, just a plain craft cardstock, and yeah, it's a fall theme, so maybe I use brown or greens or yellows also. So I stamped the smallest one 3 times and the large one 1 time, and I'm planning to give them a nuts. So before starting this video, I just kind of play with these, and I use some of the distress inks and some of the other inks to make these, and I get really fascinating effects. So now I'll share how I create those small nuts here. So for that, I'm not using Misty, I'll just use normal stamp block. And whenever you are stamping, just put a rough paper with you to stamp something on that if you want to just check or something like that. So now I have this 3 distress ink: antique linen, vintage photo, and ground espresso. You can use any one of these. Especially distress ink work well with the watercolor paper because you can spread a little bit of water on them. So first of all, I just stamp this whole portion here of icon, and then I'll add a little bit of it. Now I'll zoom it out a little bit so you can see that how I'm moving my stamp. I just want to grab little bit of color on the edges of these stamp. So now you can see here, and if you got some extra and you're not getting exactly on the edges, you can wipe it out at any time. And now I will try to stamp perfectly on that. Again, you can use Misty for this, but I'm kind of trying with directly stamping on the paper here without using Misty. And then I'll took my third color, which is the darkest one, and for the darkest one I just go on the one side, so it will give a kind of effect of light on the another side, so darker on the one side, and it's gave the 3D effect and the dimension to your image. Now you can see each time when you stamp, you get a different kind of impression. So it's really nice because nature is not perfect. Not every square or every flower is like the same with another one. So this is a really nice trick. And still, if you want to add some extra things, that if you found that these are not stamped properly or you want extra shading here, then you can always use your Copic markers or zinc color brush. Here I have a Spectrum Aqua.
So now I will trim this cardstock for the desired shape. I am trimming it just to make a rectangle fit. I am not measuring it. I want to see how it looks on my card base. Here I am using craft cardstock for card base, and now we'll cut out that apron where we stamped before, and I thought a little bit big. So I think the smaller will do well for this project, because these are little bit smaller and space is not that much. Now I'm using long form padded paper, and I'm just seeing that which one is looking good, and I'm happy with the diagonal one. Again, I'll just eyeball it and see it how tall I want it, and then I'll trim off these 2 papers as desired. Now before that, I want to see which stamps I'm using. So I'm using again a same stamp, Nutty About You, and I'm using the florals there. I'm picking colors from the Lawn Fawn paper pad. They are awesome color combination, but you can vary little bit here and there. And I'm do little bit of stamping just to see which color is look like what this card base. Now I want this cardstock at 3 inches because the white width. So I decided to trim that. So I left little bit of below squares, and then I trim it off. And now I will stamp this greenery by using distress ink. And here I am using a different distress inks, which is olive mauve lawn, citrus, and basically there is no right or wrong. You can use any inks whatever you have in stash. You can use memento inks also. Cow pumpkin and honey mustard, and you can use mermaid lagoon also if you want to replace that teal color for more darker color. So I'm using little bit of them, but now I'm seeing that these are little bit floating on the card, so I won't give them little bit space. So I'm trying my colors here, and by the way I'm using here Spectrum Nora alcohol markers, and I have this small chart with me. So now I'm little bit hand drawing these, and then I'll color them. They look little bit weird when you color, but it will just mix up all the things with the help of distress ink and these inks, and at the end you will be quite happy with the results. And for these Spectrum aqua markers, I'm using TN7, GB8, and EB5. You can use T1 also, TN2 also, and these are more brownish colors. You can use alcohol marker also. So now you can see that they blend real well. Now I want to add a little more texture, so I'm using my 0.4 Sharpie, black one, and add white one also. Give a little bit of dots here and there. And again I'm using here mustard seed yellow distress ink to just kind of giving more look fall theme card, and I don't want that full blank white. So now I don't have the big I have the big dies for this, but don't have the exact small die which is fitted to that rectangle. So here I'm using Simmons stitch rectangle die, and I will die cut this panel 2 times, first on bottom side and then on the upper side. So in this way I get the desired height, as it is 3 inches I decided, and maybe little bit less because I die cut it. But now you see that you can use your basic dies for creating little bit different shape or customized shape. Now I just see that how it look on platted paper, and I decided to add more matte to, and for that I'm using a brown cardstock here. And by the way, this is from my stash. I didn't use it, the came with the card kit. So I'm planning to more use for them in card making, or for the front of that, not putting. And these cards are a little bit heavier weight, so for matting I choose a little bit lighter weight like 80 lb or 60 lb cardstocks. Now I'm using same teal color here for stamping the background on this card base directly. And now I want to stamp my sentiment here, and I decided that I will stamp the thank you in the scripted style, and plain style I will thank you so very much. So for thank you so very much is the total sentence. I don't want to cut, so I use my Misty. You can use your normal stamping tool also, and I just mask off the thank you word there. I remove the mask and then just place for you. So thank you so very much. And yeah, and that completes it's thank you for everything, and that's complete this sentiment. You can heat emboss that, but I already have too much texture, so I decided to just put with the black ink. And now I'll cut a bit more and trim it out, and now I see how it looks. And this here you can see that whenever I'm adding only I stick the output dashes. So I'm using the fish border punch to get some small borders and add that behind the whole panel. So, and this were panel price again. Now I'll trim off the excess. And for the paneling damage, I'm using here a craft. It is easy way to give a height little bit of to your card. So now I'm using glue and I'll just place that tattoo in center, and yeah, then I'm happy with it. Now it's time to add a final detail. I'm not using any sequence, but I will give the small acrons to the squares that they are give each other something, a gesture of thank you. So for that I want to use gloss accent here cause it dry clear, and I will put little bit glossy accent over these nuts so that they will get a dimensional. You can use Winkle before I add, but I'm quite happy with the look here. I don't want to add glimmer on this card, glitter or shimmer, something like that. So now that completes this card. Now I want to decorate inside also. So I decided to add a green color, and I'll trim off the green color in the same 3-inch panel. And then I have that lawn font diagonally platted paper which will stick. And you remember the big acron we stamped in the starting of the video, and because they cut out it, I will put that on there. So you can see that inside and outside both will look nice and coordinated. So if you like my channel, do subscribe to you. You can follow me on Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram also. And I will show more in this series, and maybe we are creating 3 or more cards with the kit supplies, and I'll show more cards, the stamp sets. That will be the bonus. Now I decided to show you some cards before going, so maybe you can see all the cards in my next video.